Hey everybody, host of Historical Light here, Brother Alex Powers, Robert Marshall. We stopped in Oklahoma this weekend getting some photos for the show, checking out some Masonic sites and non-Masonic sites, and happened to find a gold mine of a facility here in Reno, Oklahoma. If you just saw what I was showing you, this is the old entrance to a lodge, and this building is currently vacant. And it's pretty great condition, granted. And we're going to take a quick walk through and show you guys about it. So let's take a gander in here live on Historical Light. So Robert, we just finished going through this facility. What was your initial thoughts on this?
Initial thoughts. It was a traditional style Masonic temple. You had the side alley entrance with a stairway for Masons or Eastern Star ladies up to the upper floors. You have some chambers of reflection for your light work. A very interesting projection room. For the lodge room, and now, very impressive for a town this size.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, you guys have to realize, right now, El Reno is kind of a ghost town. But take a look at this building, you can tell that it was just highfalutin in the day for the Masons that attended here. So this is the ground floor, this is the lobby space, and we're seeing, this has been converted over to the time for a store unit, whatever. The really cool upstairs, we got some original tin on the ceiling. It looks like drop-in, but guys, that is tin work. Very cool.
This room was originally a dance hall and banquet hall, and there's the balcony right here on the between first and second floor that looked down to where we are now.
Think back, guys, in the history of this. Think of that in its original glory of what it was intended to be. That would be so cool. So we're going to take a gander up the stairs here to see that overlooking balcony. Oh yeah, we can't miss that. You guys know the famous days of the 70s for Masonry. Did not miss this glorious temple by any means. When we take a peek over here, you can imagine what this was like in its original days. But there is the current overlooking the balcony to that downstairs. And we'll jaunt over here and you get a feel for what it was like in the time. If this, was a dance hall, how cool that would be. And for being in kind of a strip mall setting of this old town on this town square, this is a very, very large space.
Absolutely. And you could not be in town without noticing it. You didn't have to have open houses in that time because you had street front property in the most busy part of town.
Yeah.
And there were dances and banquets and everything that people could see through the window. They wanted to know what it was. You didn't have to invite
Indeed.
them.
Well, and to that point too, we still have window space down below, but if you guys notice straight ahead where it's boarded, that was originally glass. So this entire front of this place, if you had lights going and a bulb going in here, it was in full display. It'd be pretty amazing.
So at one point, after the Masons left this building, JCPenney moved in. It was a JCPenney store. It was a Coxrite store, a local business, and most recently an antique shop. But currently it's for sale at a very reasonable price.
I do see Oscar Delgado's tuned in. Greetings, brother. Thanks for tuning in. For the rest of you guys, don't give up yet. We're not even seeing the good stuff yet. There's 2 more stories to this building, and that's where the really cool stuff happens.
Just like the first floor, the ceiling on this second floor is covered in the original tin ceiling tiles and details.
And for those of you, that lodge was quite impressive in its time when they have separate lodge rooms for Eastern Star and Blue Lodge. This has 4 stories. They use them all. It's pretty impressive. All right, what do you think, Robert? Should we take them on up?
Let's do it.
All right, so now we're going to go up to the 3rd floor. And from what we were told, this was the Eastern Star's quarters. So right now we're entering in what was the Eastern Star Lodge room. And you guys can still see the light fixtures hanging from the ceilings. The floor in here is still in amazing condition. And I like to point out, yeah, what Robert's pointing to right now, below the plaster they put up, you can still see the arches in the original brickwork.
Every window has archway brickwork.
Back here you can see these used to slide up. This most certainly probably doubled as a dining hall or something in its time. Some great room back here with storage, but on over here is where it gets pretty cool, honestly. So again, we're working through what was the Eastern Star's lodge room. So now on the back side of the Eastern Star, we enter this glorious hall. Check that out. Over here is an old restroom facility.
Here we have the office for Texas Grand Junior Warden Brad Billings, made for size.
That's official. You heard it here. Now this one, the floor is recently, I guess this just happened in the last couple years or so, started to buckle a little bit just from the moisture and stuff that's got in here, but still, overall, for being sitting here without use for the years, this place is in pretty damn good shape. Still, I mean, the original architecture and stuff of this place is amazing. And you think the town that it's in, it was really popping in the day. I thought this was a pretty cool room itself.
Absolutely. I'm not sure exactly what they used it for, but you can imagine the Eastern Star Gals sitting around here.
Oh yeah. One with the pink walls, you can tell this was very fancy in its time.
Possibly a little kitchen here for serving food, I don't know.
And we've got the dual glass doors over here going into a separate room. It's very, very cool. All right, now those Masons watching, they want to know where the brothers met, right? So we've got yet another floor to go up. Another beautiful doorway.
So this is your traditional stairway entrance down the back alley so that brothers could enter without going through the first floor where you might have had business.
Yeah. Well, and to another point of that as well, we saw that when we came in there, we came directly through the Eastern Star wing. So in this time, this would be kind of the front door, and you see how this has the front door look. So essentially, the Eastern Star could be having an active meeting going at the same time that the lodge is going, and not being any interruption with each other. So it's all boarded up now, but I mean, you can imagine the guys in the day coming up this stairwell and on the way to the lodge. We've got old mailbox here right in the beginning. Let's work our way on up to the top floor.
The building itself was completed in 1909. In this part of the country, we had lodges where they were initiating as many as 500 to 1,000 guys per year.
Yeah.
So you needed structures like this.
Greetings, Brother Joe. Thanks for tuning in. You'll notice the old original light fixtures still hanging. And the double sliding doors. I thought that was a neat touch. These doors are a little stiff. There are still doors in here that work immaculately. But to see these old pocket doors is a really cool touch. And of course, I'm always a nerd for these, the old light switches.
Push button light switches. These sliding doors get you to the dining hall. Of course, we're Masons. If we meet, we eat. This is where that magic took place.
Check out that old fan, still hanging on. So it looks like back here we even got a small serving area, kitchen area, hooking on, adjoining to what we believe is the dining hall.
How about these light switches for each Masonic body?
Yes, check these out, guys.
So it didn't click for me. Alex was the one who figured it out. The lady giving us a tour through the place earlier asked us, what do you think these were for? So what you've got here is 8 light bulb sockets. You've got a switch corresponding to each one. Alex came up with it before we noticed the actual logos, but above each switch is a sticker. This one's Eastern Star, that one's Blue Lodge, that one's York Rite chapter. Each switch corresponded to a bulb that would tell guys coming up through the main entrance we came up a moment ago which kind of Masonic organization or organizations were meeting at that time. And Alex theorized, and I believe he's almost certainly correct, it probably also controlled the lights outside on the street signs to tell people outside which orders were or were not meeting.
Very neat touch.
Should we do it traditional? Go to the anteroom?
Let's do it. And you guys will notice yet another sliding pocket door here. They're all through this place, and I think it's an immaculate touch. So this is a pretty neat hall. You guys will notice the abundance of doors in this hall. We'll get to that in a moment.
There's the roof access. So York right, guys, you've got your closets here on the right, a chamber of reflection, each on the left. Blue Lodge, your traditional anteroom. I was delighted when I was in the other room and Alex shouted out earlier, it still has hangers.
Oh yeah. Just a cool touch. Look at this. Oh yeah, let's do it. And look at that door. Still perfect.
Like it's brand new.
I love it. Greetings, Brother Ryan. Thanks for tuning in. We're checking out an old abandoned Masonic temple in Reno, Oklahoma. And this, guys, is the lodge room. It is still, I mean, it's amazing.
Of course, you still have your stations in place. You can see where charters, the G, probably a George Washington painting hung on the walls.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, no doubt. I mean, look, you can literally see where the hangers were hanging down to hold these on the wall. I hope you guys can see that through the video here. But I mean, they are stained into the history. And it does look like there used to be windows up here in the east as well. They're currently boarded up. Old original door.
Of course, if many of you will look back in your old lodge records, you'll find that there was an officer position, sometimes referred to as scary optician, or some other interesting term. Those were the guys who were in charge of handling light manipulation, projection systems, and the like. Odds are this little room was a projection room for shooting lectures into the lodge room.
Yeah.
Or something of the nature.
But it's also full size up there, which is nice. I mean, that door actually opens all the way up, and you could fit a couple chairs up there quite easily.
There is a winding stairway coming into this room, so this room where I'm at may have also been used as a middle chamber.
We're making our way back around to where Robert's actually at. So as we come through this back area, you'll notice this glorious staircase. We'll make our way up. And I mean, put yourselves in the history here. Hey, Brother Larry, thanks for tuning in. Sitting back and witnessing lodge happening right here.
This building turns 110 years old this year. Who knows how many brothers were introduced to the mysteries of Freemasonry right there. Very large windows back behind the east on either side. In the very early days of Freemasonry, the three great lights referred to three stained glass windows on the east wall of the lodge room. I don't know that these guys would have known that, but interesting parallel to the early days in the UK.
Oh, for sure. And just as they didn't have very good air back in the day, we're feeling that here today. It's nice and muggy in here. I'm dripping currently. So another glorious sliding door that goes back to that hallway that we were just in. But we've got one more pretty cool little hall. And check that out. Even a pile of original bricks sitting there. How neat is that? Robert, what did you find?
Well, a mystery if you're not yet Yorkite. A wonderful delight if you are Yorkite and make use of the traditional building. We have what many would think is an ordinary closet that becomes something much more memorable to the initiate.
You have to shine your light. I don't think I can.
And since Alex is the boss of this show, he dictated that I now have to go down there. I would like to stress that was very much against my will, but I'm going to go ahead and try it.
I would like to stress I was joking, but I give Robert a prop for taking one for the team here.
These 1x4s look pretty good. I'm not using that word one very confidently. I don't know that it's an inch thick. It feels very thin. And this is how it all ends. It honestly feels really solid, but I think that's about as far as I'm going to go.
Yeah, I was going to say, brother, don't risk it.
But
if we're going to do that, we need to sell tickets for the viewing at
you can
least.
see what you're looking at is it's about 15 feet down, and if you want to know what it is, I would encourage you to join a Yorkite body that does still meet in a historic building. There's a good chance they've got something that looks almost exactly like this. Otherwise, just ask an old Yorkite guy. He'll probably tell you what it is.
But then even a neat touch here, you can see someone's wiped away the years of dirt, and you can actually see the original copper-looking tone on that plate there.
There apparently are not any currently active Masons in this town who are capable of remembering the use of this building. I say that because the owners, the realtors, there have been local theories about different parts of this building, how certain things were used. They thought that little chamber was a prohibition storage room, which it almost certainly wasn't. But there is room in the basement for something like that.
And you guys will notice even in here we have an abundance of original hangers, which is pretty cool. Hey, Brother David, thanks for tuning in. We're checking out an old original Masonic Temple in Reno, Oklahoma.
Almost certainly had costumes here. That's why all these hangers are here. And if you look close, you can see a linoleum.
Yeah,
Pavement.
that's great. You'll see you see where it transitions from the original wood flooring over to the covering.
In the day, the lodges spared no expense with building plans.
Old original bathroom.
Okay, maybe they spared expenses on the bathroom.
Hey, Brother Gene. And this is back to that what we suspect is maybe a little kitchen or serving area that then leads through that door back to that dining hall. But all in all, we came out here this weekend to get some pictures. This was kind of a luck of the day find on Google. And it was listed a number of years ago. We didn't know if it was still available or still in the shape that we found it in the pictures. But sure enough, we were able to get a hold of the current real estate company that's working with it. And they were more than happy to open it up for us this morning, give us a tour, and then let us do this live.
This is the part of the live footage where I get attacked by a raccoon that's been living in the attic. So it's a crawl space size attic. From here, I can't see
Actually,
if there is roof
there we go. I do have
access,
flash on this. All right.
but I bet there is roof access somewhere.
Actually, directly above you is looks like a plywood covering. I don't know if it's
I just didn't look right
available.
above me. That makes sense. So they may have it nailed shut, but I'll check. Well, it's got a place to hook it shut, and there's no hook. Yeah, that's nailed shut. Too bad. Oh, we do have a animal skeleton here. Oh, it's a bird. The remains of a bird. A very aviary chamber of reflection.
There you go.
Never know what you'll find in places like this. I found a old trunk in the basement of a lodge like this once, and inside the trunk was a huge certificate roll of brothers from that lodge that had died in World War I.
Wow.
Surely the lodge left it behind by accident.
And you guys will notice, you know, minor detail, but behind that extension ladder is the original straight wood ladder.
That's what I was trying to climb down in that hole earlier. A very similar ladder.
They're still in pretty good shape, honestly, but
yeah,
you know, never totally worth risking it. But now that I do have a flash on here that I discovered, we'll take a look. Here's one of the closets, and then looks like these were possibly used as chambers as well in the time. Got a pretty large one over here.
This is definitely a chamber for commandery degrees, without a doubt.
Neat old shelf there. Actually, that one you could see it really well where it's been wiped away and shows that copper so beautifully. I mean, guys, put this into perspective. You drive through this town now, you can tell when you're coming through the town. It has kind of that old square feel, but it does have tracks for the old streetcar that came through, and you can tell by the quality of the buildings, this used to be a very populated town. It's not currently, but then you see this lodge, and it really puts it in perspective. I mean, this was a highly populated lodge. It really puts into perspective the times when this lodge was in its glory. There was a lot of people here. I mean, you can just imagine them making their way through these halls.
You do still have intact a gravity-induced airflow system with furnace fixtures attached to it, copper ducting. This is behind behind the west of the lodge, and it's got ducts that push the air out into the lodge room.
And then directly above it would be that neat little room we were visiting up the flight of stairs.
This is the answer to the question you often see on Facebook among Masons of, how did they wear suits then? There was no air conditioning. They found a way.
What this is. Oh, there's a neat old mini breaker. It's kind of cool. But all in all, man, this was a awesome tour. So glad that we had the opportunity to visit here today. So glad you guys tuned in to explore it with us. This is where it's all at. When I used to do low voltage stuff on construction sites, repairs on buildings, these were the type of buildings that I love to get into because I can just experience that history in my head. I can walk through here and feel it in its prime. And this building just makes it too easy to do that. But it's amazing. Brother Robert, what's the name of the real estate company that's taking care of this?
Off the top of my head, I don't remember the name of the real estate company, but we're in Reno, Oklahoma, and we will put in the comments here the name of the real estate company, contact info if anybody does happen to be interested, or even wants to stop by this place and check it out when you're traveling through, which...
Trying to talk this guy into it right here.
Highly recommended.
Come on, man. This could be Historical Light headquarters.
It absolutely could be. And I don't know what it looks like on that end. There is an idea in a lot of Masonic circles, when you get a building that's old and has any need of renovations, it can't be done. It really, truly can be done at a price much more affordable than is often assumed.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen lodges in far worse shape than this get turned around.
And you know, the thing is, guys, like we were chatting with a little bit ago, this could be turned into something so great for the community. And you think back to the original days, that's what the point was. They put these lodges in the parts of the community that were so populated, and they were supposed to be a token point of that community.
Community centers. The first schools were in the first floor. Sometimes local hospitals, even local jails were often in the first floor of lodges. It's where everything happened.
Yeah, for sure. So with that, guys, we've made our way to the top floor. You've explored the whole thing with us. I appreciate that. But here we are, El Reno, Oklahoma. It's been an amazing weekend. Got a lot of pictures, so you guys can keep up with those coming soon. But here we are, Historical Light coming to you guys live. So with that, we will see you guys soon. Keep searching for light and watch out for the new episodes.